Well, good afternoon and welcome. There's no place like your home. Welcome to my channel, All Things Home Lisa Baker. Well, this time of year, you know that we're all pretty much indoors. However, you will always want to have that impact of your entryway, your porch area. So when people come to your home, they're seeing a reflection of you starting from the outside and working your way in. So as promised, I told you that I would show you what I have come up with for my porch after debating about some of the fabrics that I had. So come on back. It's not a real big space, as you well know, after all this time. So what I ended up doing was taking a curtain that I have, a satin striped curtain, and making my cushions for my chair and then my settee. So I had used that burgundy fabric. I had really looked into that, and I just didn't like the look. It didn't give me the impact that I wanted for this area. So if you recall from my last video, I had the fall colors up, the yellow fabric, a damask tablecloth, which is still underneath this fabric. And I just took my curtain and made the back cushion and the seating cushion, as you can see there. Let's get that in. So, and I had this other little decorative pillow that around the house, and I just added that on as well. Now, I don't have my tripod now or anybody to help me with the camera work, so I hope you'll bear with me on this. I was gifted these beautiful hydrangea. They dried just beautifully, and I just tucked those into those clay kind of, envelopes, I call them, like these rolled cylinders, and just got some bows as well, and put those on there. So I think that was a nice addition to the look I want to achieve, which is really, for me, I prefer a semi-traditional formal look to my living space. So, but again, if you do follow my channel, you know that I thrift everything. We have curb alerts, flea markets, yard sales, thrift stores, and actually there was an estate that was disassembled, and some things were literally being thrown away, and I was fortunate enough to get a few things. And if you can see this just lovely pear and ivy decoration that someone had made, and then they just decided, that they were getting rid of all of these kind of decorations. So I brought that out here for this little table, and just think it makes a nice addition to that little lamp I have. And I put a different shade on it because I thought that this kind of mustardy colored lampshade pulls the furnishing together very well. As you can see, the the settee with its cushions. Let's go this way. There we have it. And then there is my window frame that I've had for several years, and I believe all the panes are out of it now. And I just hung a wreath from there, and again used this thrifted ribbon that I had gotten and hung that from the window. And this piece is absolutely wonderful. I was at the thrift store just around Christmas time, and I saw that there, and it's just a beautifully tasseled and satin ribbon, and like a velveteen embroidered tree skirt. So when this is down, it's a complete circle with a backing on it that velcros together. And I tried to hang it from this window, to have more of a circular look, more of a draping kind of swag look. And it just wasn't working well, because then this center got all bunched up. And so I just have it across the top like that. And I really think that the look that I wanted to achieve for the for my porch was just brought together with that as well. And if you remember from my last video as well, I found these beautiful silver plate goblets at the thrift store, and there was a box of them. There were 20, and there's 3 different sizes. And I polished those up, and I've just hung them up here on my makeshift chandelier, which is starts off with a plate rack. And then I hung the goblets, and then I just had this little plastic beaded, it was a chandelier with a different light in it, but over the years it's just kind of fell apart. So I put in one of my silver plate bowls, and then this was again a find from that estate that was disassembled. And then I've got some lights in there as well, some little fairy lights. So they'll come on in a little bit once it gets a little darker here. But I just, again, feel like I was able to achieve the look I wanted, in my porch. So when you come in and come up on the steps, it's a warm and welcoming and definitely, I think, a conversation piece. So, the most important thing is finding your style, finding what works for you, and, go into town with it, with your thrifting. There's no right or wrong. You can use things for many different purposes. They don't have to be specifically for what they were intended, as you can well see. But that's the fun part of the journey. So I just want to encourage you, as always, to think outside the box, try new things, try working with things in many ways, because you never know, what you'll discover in using things differently, and also, discovering within yourself your own creativity and imagination. So there is no place like your home. And I would say overall, this porch, to do all of this, it was definitely under $20 once it's all said and done. Again, finding things, thrifting things, and just repurposing and reusing some of the items that I've already had. So I want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year in 2026, and that you discover and tap into the creativity and the genius within yourself. I will see you soon. Merry Christmas and Happy 2026.